Belgian waffles.
Get soggy.
Waffles have the
don't,
pockets.
they're crispy.
They have the pockets.
All right. So what stoichiometry is if you have a reaction and it's balanced. So the balancing comes from the coefficients. So for this example of making pancakes, the 2, the 1, the half, the 1, and the 20 are our coefficients, right? And obviously, if it was an actual reaction, you would have like 2 NAs on this side, 2 NAs on that side, just like you did in lab. So, but I use this because it's kind of fun to talk about pancakes and help you understand what the heck this word means. So what it really means is, what is the ratio between all the reactants and products? So if I was to ask you guys, what is the ratio, right? What is the ratio between eggs and pancakes? According to the coefficients on the board. 2 to 20, right? The ratio of eggs to pancakes is 2 to 20. What does that mean? I need 2 eggs in this recipe to get 20 pancakes. But what if I asked you, what is the ratio of flour to chocolate chips? What's the ratio of flour to chocolate chips? 2 to a half. 2 to 1/2. So according to our recipe, if I want to make 20 pancakes, I need 2 cups of flour, but I only need half a cup of chocolate chips. So what stoichiometry is taking a balanced equation and a recipe, baking, cooking, whatever, it works the same way, and the ingredients and the amount of each ingredient is set because that ratio needs to work together. In other words, if I had 5 cups of flour and left all of these other ingredients the same, the pancakes would be terrible. There's too much flour, right? So this ratio, 2 to 20, 2 to a half, whatever these numbers are, they are what they are because that's how this recipe works best, and that's how you create 20 pancakes. So that's essentially what this means. It's looking at the number of reactants and products and comparing them in a ratio form. Now you can set the ratio up like this too, right? 2 to 20 would be 2 over 20 or 2 over a half. Now can you reduce this to what? 1 to 10, right? Okay, good. All right, here's my question to you guys now. Actually, before I do that, we'll go slow and make sure we're good. Do you understand what I mean when I say ratio? Okay. The unit, teaspoon, cup, eggs, you can't have a cup of that. I mean, you could, I guess, but that's kind of irrelevant in the example here. It's just the big numbers. So 2 to 2, 2 to 1, 2 to a half, 1 to 20, or 20 to 1, depending on what the problem would ask, right? If I said, what is the ratio of pancakes to vanilla, it would be 20 to 1. So everybody's good with that. When I say ratio, we're looking at the big numbers. All right. So let's say we want to make pancakes for the entire junior class. How many pancakes would we need? 50. Why don't we make it 100 pancakes? I mean, I could eat, if I wanted to eat pancakes, I could probably eat like 5. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I make normal size. I mean, like pancakes are like that, not like this.
Good enough to eat 50 of them.
Yeah, so all right. Is he a junior?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we better make 100. So, here's the question, and I want you to show work. How many cups of chocolate chips do we need for 100 pancakes? You got to show me work though. You can maybe do it in your head, but I want to see work. How many cups of chocolate chips would we need to make 100 pancakes? So we just figured out, or we read the box, right? We got the ingredients. We know the ratios for 20 pancakes, but we want to make 100. And if anyone's ever baked, I'm sure, or cooked, you cut things in half sometimes, or you double it. I do that all the time. I don't really bake, but I cook. Baking would involve unhealthy food. That's not true, actually. Some stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. I could bake bread. I have made bread in the past, but it was a long time ago. No, I've never made that. Banana bread's good. Not necessarily healthy though.
Banana bread is It's banana, yeah.
It's like telling me jelly is healthy because that's fruit in it.
Oh, but
You're right.
Okay. Might as well have ketchup as your vegetable.
well,
That's a little different. That's like processed.
A lot of jelly is too.
not if you make your
Yeah,
own jelly.
if you make your
get the
own jelly,
powder.
do you know how much sugar you have to put in that?
The whole packet.
So much sugar. Alright, I'll stop talking. 100 pancakes.
I don't
I
know.
can do this math in my head.
I need you to write it down.
Don't do it at all.
You need to write it down. If you were at home and you wanted to make 100 pancakes,
I would never.
okay, let's just say you did though, alright? You would have to figure it out, right? This is what cooks and bakers do. It's simple math, it's proportions. So if I know the ratio is a half a cup to 20 pancakes, and that number is now going to be 100, I'm going to need way more than half a cup. But I want to see, who has work to show me here?
You just make a plain
Is
pancakes.
that right?
I don't know, we're going to find out.
Listen, I'm not trying this.
We'll find out.
I'm confused.
Alright, what if I asked the question differently? Alright?
I don't know.
Well, I know I didn't look at everybody here. What if I wanted to make 40 pancakes? Okay, that's easier, but here's why it's the exact same, and here's why. If 1/2 of the cups of chocolate chip here, right, half cups, whatever, is to 20 pancakes, as how many is to 100? So I teach stoichiometry in proportions. If half is to 20, then x is to 100. Basically what you're doing here is multiplying it by 5. Because this is 5 times larger than this, so this is going to be 5 times larger than this. But you need to show work on the regions. You can't just write the answer. You have to show work, and this is how you do it. Use a proportion. So 100 times a half is 50 equals 20x. Divide by 20. Divide by 20, right? Because I cross multiply. Then divide by 20, so it's 5 over 2, which is what you wrote. So 2.5 cups of chocolate chips would be needed to make 100 pancakes. That's stoichiometry. Everyone says, oh, I get it. If it's 40, I just double it. Yes. But what if it's 60? Oh, then I triple it. All right, what if it's 80? What if it's 100? What if it's, this is where it gets squirrely. What if I want 75.5 pancakes? Right? Because remember, on the Regents and in this class, this is real reactions and you're going to have decimals. So yes, it's easy in real life because you can just multiply it by like a whole number. But in here, we're going to have fractions. So you're going to need to do the math like a proportion and do it this way. All right? So I use this simple example with pancakes because everybody kind of gets on board and it's kind of fun to talk about and silly or whatever. And then, you know, we take this and apply it to like a real reaction. Okay? If we had a full period, we would practice some more and then you'd have some homework, but I don't think we really have, how much time do I have? Wait. What period is this?
Oh yeah, you're only 2 minutes, buddy.
You guys better watch the names here. Alright, we're done. Because I'm going to get chopped off. Is this making somewhat sense here?
Oh yeah.